Welcome, my name is Colleen Tauke and I'm the sewing specialist here at Fons & Porter. In this Sew Easy tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make 3-color hourglass units. Okay, we've got a quilt behind me that showcases the 3-color hourglass unit, and I want to make sure that you can see where they're at. They're used actually within the block itself. You can see here the points of the star have 2 light colors, a red and a navy. And so that's one place where it's used. And then it's used kind of as the sashing cornerstones. As they come together, there are 2 reds, a white, and a navy here to make this star. So there's a great way to make these 3-color hourglass units. It's really quick and simple, and you don't have to cut any triangles. So here are some that I have laid out, and we're going to be able to make 2 of these at once in this process. So this is what we're going to yield when we're done. What we're going to start with is that there are 2 red pieces. So think of this way, we have 2 red pieces. We need a navy and a white. So we have 1 navy and 1 light. And we're going to be starting with squares. Now the formula for this is to take the finished size of the unit and add 1 1/4 inches. And that's the size of the square you need to start with. So what we're going to do then is we'll start by matching up. We're going to put a red with a navy and a red with a white. And we're going to be doing right sides together. And then we're going to mark them with using the Fons & Porter 1/4 inch seam marker. You can use a ruler also. But what we want to do is going diagonally across the block, we want to set in stitching lines. We're going to just make marks here with a friction pen that can be will disappear when we hit it with an iron. And we're just going to put in our stitching lines. And this is the same process you would use for making quick triangle squares. So there we go. And I have one, let's see, I've got one already stitched, I believe. No, it's already split, but same thing. Here we go. Instead of you watching me sew, let's get to the actual process. So we're going to stitch on those marked lines we have here. Then we're going to cut down the center. You can use a rotary cutter or you can use the scissors. The seam allowance doesn't matter because it's already predetermined, so you just want to cut down between the lines. And then we're going to take it to the iron and you press your seam allowances toward the darker fabric. So we're going to press towards the red. Now when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you always set your seam allowances first, which means heat them up, then open out, pressing those seam allowances in one direction. Now since you have the ironing board surface warmed up, just lay the next piece down, let the ironing board do some of the work for you. Set the seam and again, press your seam allowance to one side. So we have 2 like this. Now what we want to do is set those aside. We want to do the same exact process, but we want to do it with the red and the navy blue. So again, right sides together, having used a seam marker of some sort so that you get diagonal with your seam allowances marked. Stitch those, cut them apart, press those. Magic of TV, I have another set just like the first. So we've got a set like this with navy blue. Now, in order to join these together, we're going to create these blocks. So we take 1 of each, set the others aside. We'll do the same process with those. We're going to align these so that the red are opposite each other. And we're going to take that 1/4 inch seam marker again. We're going to mark again, corner to corner, going the opposite direction across the block. And it's a little bit of a trick getting over the seam allowance, but don't pull too much, you'll distort your block. Again, marking a 1/4 inch seam, enough so that you can see it under the sewing machine. And you're going to sew across. I have one split already, but I'll lay it in here beside so you can see. It's stitched in the same manner you did the other process, down both sides, and split again, either using your rotary cutter or your scissors. Now the fun part is when you open this up, you have 2 blocks, one here and one here. But even better is that you had that other set. That creates 2 more. So you have 4 instantly that all go together, that all match. Again, set your seams, Open the seams in one direction, and you have a 3-color hourglass unit. If you'd like to see more of our Sew Easy tutorials, please visit our website. Thanks for joining me today.